be very good here. They are deciding who should become the minister and who should hold the what portfolio. So Mr. Mahesh has rightly pointed out that this has become a business media, electronic media, what they are showing, like Mr. Dutt is here. He has seen at the time of 26/11 incident at Bombay, media was showing the live telecast that this where the troops are being dropped on the buildings, and those intruders were having the telephones, and people sitting outside of the country, they were intimating them that now you have to change your strategies like this, because this is happening outside your room. So such type of reporting, and very shamelessly where there is one new term adopted by the particularly electronic media, that is TRP. So for TRP they can go to the any extent whatever they are showing, irrespective whether it suits your society or not. But you are bound to go through that content. Even you put your news channels, even news channels will show how that big boss is doing, how that lady is doing, how that he is kissing, how that, what is all news channels, they will telecast it, even if you don't go to the colors or to the India Imagine or any other channel. And you will find that timing of their ad is same. You can't put your remote that if ad is going shown on one channel, you can have the news on another channel. They will also showing the ad at the same spectrum. So such type of, whenever government talked about putting some restraints on the media, every time they get organized, and there is a hue and cry that this is the fourth state. If you put any restriction, any restraint upon the media, democracy will go, everything will be finished. So in the name of democracy, what media people are doing, they have developed, they have a nexus, they have a group, they can get organized, and in the name of freedom of speech and expression, they necessarily they sell their commodities to the people for their own benefit, irrespective whether it goes to the benefit of the nation or not. So my question to all of you is that please consider and give a serious thought to this, that whether Indian Constitution grants any special status, any special freedom to the group of persons named as a press, media, electronic, it may be print media, it may be electronic media. And rightly you have pointed out that Press Council of India is just for the namesake. I have one example. One journalist in the interior parts of the country, that is Pilibhit, he reported something against the sitting SP of the district, and next day he was implicated while in a case of carrying some skin of some animals, and he was sent to jail. After arrest he was beaten like anything, and number of torturous activities were done to him. When after release, he complained to the Press Council of India, and Press Council of India, all powers having at their command, and they did all that what they could do, but they were not able to get that lady IPS officer even transferred from that state. Simply they could manage anyhow the bail for that person and go for the trial and all that, and they recommended the government that withdraw these proceedings against the journalist because he was innocent and was falsely implicated for this reporting against the district SP. So Press Council of India can't do anything. If I am allowed to quote one line from the our earlier minister, Priyaranjan Das Munshi, on one debate in the television when he was healthy, talking to the Indian media and these producers, news channels and lot of electronic media people, big bosses, he said, I know that you have not come here for a social just service. You are running these business groups, these channels, news channels and other commercial channels, not for the charity, not for the nation. You are running a business. and you have the right to go for the TRP, and government doesn't have much control over you. But for the God's sake, since you are calling yourself as Indian, in 24 hours, you give 30 minutes to the nation. At least you decide yourself that 23 hours you will telecast whatever you like. Spare 1 hour, every channel, 1 hour, in which you will not show the nonsense things, and you will telecast or broadcast only the which is appropriate for the Indian masses. And none of them journalists was able to say that, see, at this time I telecast or broadcast certain things which are good for the nation. Every time they are running for the TRP and TRP and TRP. And that is all is done in the name of freedom of press. So gentlemen, kindly give a thought whether our Indian constitution permits such things in the name of freedom of press. Freedom of press, I have never learnt anything in the constitution. Freedom of speech, thought and expression is there in the Indian constitution, which is available to every citizen. But simply you have got organized in a group. So that is why you will hold the country for the ransom. So with these words, Professor Shiv Kumar will say something. Kindly hear.
So, sir, emotion 1918 many times interpreted in a many different ways. Now the settled position, or we can say restate the law, the freedom of press is also included in our 1918. There is no doubt about it. Nobody can say anything on it. But I am totally agreeing the emotional sentiments expressed by him. How the press has to work. Yeah, that we have said. But the constitutional provision is, regarding the constitutional provision, there is no doubt about it. 1950 onwards we have interpreted, till date we are saying it is included in 1918. You can see the constitutional assembly debates also. You will find the indications very clearly. But we are concerned about how the media has to behave in a democratic society. That is the beauty we are seeing. If you are having a debate, public debate, that is a sign our democracy is vigilant. Our system is right, going in a right path. That's why we have the freedom to discuss this aspect freely and fairly, as well as without any fear or any constraint. But at the same time, we have to think about all the other constraints also. Because Mr. Mahesh pointed out correctly, because of paid news. Paid news is not for this one. Election time, the paid news, you can see, I have worked as an observer for the press council for this election times also. In one of the states, that is in the western part of our country, the same one newspaper is publishing 12, 15 channels and newspapers publishing the same news item without any word change about the then chief minister or this one, he is electing now, this kind of thing. This is also influencing the press. This is, of course, there is a very clear-cut element of paid aspect. But how we can catch them? Think about it. They are the powerful elements, just like another mediocre or somebody. They are acting as this one. That's why I am saying we can't regulate media saying that you have to say 50% of time for India, 50% time for Maharashtra. We have to say within your system, you have to make your own ombudsman or system to serve the country and uphold the constitutional values. That is the only we can say. Otherwise, another suggestion is that just like press council, you know press council, we formulated press council in the spirit of the constitution. That's why this is not a council just like medical council or bar council. There is no disciplinary committee as such. There is no professional enrollment as such. There are a lot of things. We don't want to restrict media like that because we are governed by 1902. 1902 is very clearly stated. That is a democratic, check and balance way is governing. That is my view. Another important thing, this Mr. Mahesh pointed out, equity shares. This is the most harmful aspect coming in India. For example, the Big Bazaar group or something, there are some newspaper is having equity share in it. We can see every month advertisement will come. If they are selling our expiry dated water bottle, nobody can push it. You can see that there is a seat, again there is a sticker on above the seat, another expiry date. These are the main issues. If you can go with a complaint to Times of India about the Big Bazaar, you see, they are also having some share in it. Who will protect our this? I am not saying this Times of India or Hindu or anything, but I am saying who will guard, who will protect. That is a question open to us. Our country, where we are going, we think about it.
It says, Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam, Priyancha Nanrutam Bruyat, Yesha Dharma Sanatanaha. I am giving you the meaning in English. Satyam Bruyat, tell the truth. Priyam Bruyat, talk dearly. Tell whatever you want to say dearly. Priyancha Nanrutam Bruyat, only to please someone. Don't say a lie. Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam. Don't say something which is very hard to digest, which is Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam. Even if the truth is truth, and if it offends someone, don't tell such truth. This is what our Sanatana Dharma is. And we also of the same, arising from the same genre, that Ano Badraha Pradamayantu Vishwataha. Let the good thoughts, valid thoughts come to us from all the directions of the world. So with these, I think these two shlokas will encircle, or rather create a circumference with regard to the freedom of speech and also the laws that we make and we observe in this country. It is rightly discussed here that what is the specific role of media. Media, according to the speakers who have addressed it so far, have vehemently stated that the freedom of speech, though not specifically stated in our constitution, is an enshrined, one of the basic fundamental rights which are enshrined under Article 19(1)(a), though it is not specifically stated that freedom of speech is guaranteed. Freedom of press is guaranteed to any citizen. Freedom of speech is guaranteed to a citizen, and such rights which are guaranteed to the citizens is also open to the corporate sector, whenever there is a corporate violence there. So the discussions here we had by various speakers here from the globe were unanimous in telling that media should not become a tool in the hands of power brokers and in the hands of vested interests only to exploit another man. Media should work for the integrity of the nation, wherever it is situated. It is not necessarily India. It should work for the integrity, national integrity, and it should work for the public safety. Because many speakers have also talked about terrorism and terrorism-related reports that had done a harm to the country and also to the persons who are actively associated with terrorism so as to take a defensive role or so as to muster themselves